Welcome back to 5 award-winning minutes with Steven Seidel. I'm your host. We have an amazing show today here at Daily News Network. We have the one and only Jake Fleshner from the Nucleus Network. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jake.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Steven, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's jump in. Let's get right in there. I know that you're a top entrepreneurial voice on LinkedIn, but you're also the co-founder of the Nucleus Network. And one of the beautiful things around that is you're bringing people together. We need more connectivity in this world. So tell us a little bit about how the Nucleus Network helps individuals, unlock the power of connection.
Couldn't agree more, by the way, and thank you for asking that question. I think in today's day and age, especially with AI, there's something about emotionally connecting with people. And when it comes down to it, our whole model and thesis is the power of the warm introduction will always be stronger than the power of the cold introduction. So that's why we built the Nucleus Network. We started it a year ago. We just reached a year, 3 weeks ago, actually. I started this company with my best friend. So talk about being close to someone like your best friend and started business with them. We've made close to 5,000 introductions for all different types of industries, individuals, and businesses. And at the core of what we like to do is we like to connect great people to great people. So the whole concept of it is not to necessarily be for transactions to happen, but just for life to happen. And I think there's not enough connection naturally happening in the world, and especially in the way of not just, like I said, from a transaction standpoint. And I think there just needed to be a business like this. So it's been an amazing run. And thank God I've been lucky enough to get an entrepreneurship tag on LinkedIn, like you mentioned. I think that's how you notice me as well. So it's amazing to be here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so that's what a lot of my friends call me, a super connector. And that's my goal, is to connect as many people as possible. Together we achieve more is what we're looking to do. Talk to me a little bit about how the Nucleus Network works. Is it, warm introductions and then you kind of get out of their way? Do you help them with finding ways to potentially collaborate? Give me a little bit of a look under the hood, if you don't mind.
Of course. And you never know what people are going to need. I think that's what's very important about, our business, but also society as a whole. So how we work and how we operate is, of course, a community and a network has to be vetted in some capacity. And you can vet for different ways and different instances and different personality traits. So for us, who we look for to join the network is you have to be open-minded, which is extremely important to us. You have to effectively communicate. You have to be deeply passionate about your service or product. You need to either come in from a warm introduction or a warm referral, or we need to know you ourselves. And then lastly, you need to be open to introductions and meeting new people. So that's the first criteria that we look for joining the network. We have about 200 people and companies that have joined the network in that capacity. And then from there, we kind of are off to the races. We figure out what type of person you're looking to connect with or type of business that you want to work with. And then from there, we basically just set up a list of people that we think would want to connect with you in general. We get double opt-in. So everything we do is double opted. And we're off to the races. And I think what's different about our company and many others is, of course, you can meet someone, but if you're not following up for whatever it is, nothing really happens. So we actually have mastered the power of the follow-up. So rather than you following up on your end, we then come in as a middleman, let's say, and follow up on both sides just to make sure that the interaction was smooth and flowing, but then the next steps are actually coming to fruition. So it's been an amazing journey of being able to understand how there's so many super connectors out there, but there's the little things that I think a lot of people aren't doing that we've been able to do as a company and as a whole.
That's fantastic. Happy birthday, 1 year anniversary. Congrats on that. I saw that as well. So it's very exciting, to get that momentum. So give me a case by case example. Let's say one of my clients is it's a drive-through coffee franchise. And let's say he's wanting to grow his business, or maybe, find a new region. He started in the Carolinas. Can you give me an example for him of, hypothetically, how that would benefit him if he were to come into the Nucleus Network?
100%. You're speaking my language. Coffee is my ultimate love language. So yes, I would love to meet him if that's an opportunity. And I think drive-through coffee shops are the next wave. I've done a lot of digging and due diligence on that. But if he would want to join and he was interested in, of course, learning what we did, of course, we'd need to understand him, see if he has the same mentality that you have and are open-minded like you, and you're a good communicator. Also, I'm sure he is because you recommended him. So we get on an intro call just to learn a little bit more about him and his business and who he is. And then from there, we kind of would just go into our internal network and see who would be a good fit. So if he wants to grow his business, there's many ways to do that, of course. And I know we started at the call of you mentioning LinkedIn, for example. So if he was looking to expand his business from a social perspective, we have like the best LinkedIn coach within the network who I actually use and everyone at our company uses. That could be a good potential to introduce him to. If he wants to further into the California region and wants to meet like the head of the Starbucks operation, for example, in California, we'd be able to introduce him there as well. So it really just depends on how he sees himself scaling and what in particular he's looking to do and who he wants to meet.
Thanks so much, Jake. My head is exploding with all these potential clients and relationships that I wanted to share with you. But to stay on task for you and the Nucleus Network, how did you come up with the name?
Yeah, starting any company nowadays, I think it's not like it was many years ago when you could just come up with a name and it's available. There are a lot of things that aren't available anymore. So we actually, when I left what I was doing previously, we went on a 2-week little trip, my co-founder and I, and we noticed that the Nucleus, we wanted to be something where it was the center because we like to be the center and kind of are the connector between all things. And Nucleus ideally was going to be our name. We did our digging and diligence, realized Nucleus isn't available, of course, so we decided to make it the Nucleus Network because it's not all about just being the center. It's about connecting the center with everyone around you, which is your network. That's how it's come to be.
That's awesome. I love that stuff. I geek out on it. I think the Nucleus being the center, the network, the keywords, the color being blue, truth, transparency, it's all right there. So kudos on that. One final question that I have for you. I see you have a Michigan shirt on there. I myself went to Penn State. I'm a Big Ten guy. Who do you think is going to win the Big Ten this year?
I wish it was Michigan, but we missed our chance already. We won last year, so I will take the W. And Penn State, we could still be friends as long as we don't like Ohio State. I think this year, honestly, I think it's a Penn State year. I think Penn State has the defense to get it done. So I'm rooting for Penn State.
Well, thanks. We'll see where that W comes in. But you guys have the W going on over the Nucleus Network. Really appreciate your time today. And if audiences, if you want to learn more about the Nucleus Network, please check out dailynewsnetwork.com. You'll find out everything. You can find out more about, how to connect with Jake and learn how to grow your business. But thanks again, Jake, for joining the show. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on, Stephen. Go Blue.